You want to learn Photoshop and become a professional graphic designer making a monthly income working as a freelancer? Whether you have a slight experience or none whatsoever, this course will start with you from the beginning. You will learn to add images and files to the software, open new projects, and you will get to know the whole software interface, tools, and menus. You will also learn how to add brushes, fonts, and filters. All of this is just the first phase. In the advanced phase, we will move to work on professional designs. I will show you how to adjust and change text and how to apply great effects on them. How to adjust, change, and correct colors of an image. Clean and soften the skin without leaving any wrinkles. Convert images taken in the day to night. Hide anything or any object from an image without leaving any trace. Change the character appearance and look. Change backgrounds in a professional way. Create and adjust a 3D text. Change a still image to an animated one and how to convert it to a video. All of the above and more is available in this course, so all you have to do is to subscribe. Hello everyone, welcome to our course. In this lesson we will learn how to start a new design, how to create the first page and all of that. As you see, this is the Photoshop interface. And this is the 2018 version of the software. And this is the version that we will work with the entire course. So if you don't have it yet, I recommend that you upgrade to it because it does have a lot of great new features that wasn't in the previous versions. So if you don't have this version yet, I recommend you download it. Now in order to create a new page, there are two ways. The first one is this option right here. And as you see here, I have the latest project that I worked on, and instead of going to the project file and opening it, I can see my latest project in here. This is a new feature in the Photoshop. As I said, these are the two ways to create a new page. Now I click on this option here and I get this window right here. This window is to create a new blank page to work on. Or I can go here to File and I click New. As you see, I have here many settings because I used them before. Now we move to this area here. In here you can set the width, the height, and the measuring units, and we always use the pixels in the measuring units. We have here pixels, inches, centimeters, millimeters, points, and picas. For us, we always use pixels. Most of the designers do. Now here we have the height. Now we'll go for an example with 500 in both width and height. Like this. Or we can go with 1000. Whatever size we want, we type it in. These two icons here is whether to set the page vertically or horizontally. As you see, when I wanted the horizontally shape, the settings changed. Same thing for the vertical. This is also a new feature that came with the 2018 version. Now here is the resolution, which refers to the quality of the design. And there is two common sizes. The first one is 72 and it's for the web designs. I mean the images, the banners, etc. Anything that will be shown in a computer screen, we use the 72 resolution. The second size is 300. This one is used for the printed designs, like flyers, brochures, billboards, etc. Anything that will get printed and put in the streets or anything like that. Even magazines, books, menus, anything. If it's gonna be printed, you use the 300. So as I said, 72 for the web and computer designs and 300 for the printed designs. So of course we will be working with 72. In here we always use these two options here. RGB color or CMYK color. We always use these two. The same thing goes here. This option, we use it for the web or computer design. The designs that won't get printed, as I said, banners, brochures, etc. And this one here is for the printed designs. And as I said before, brochures, flyers, business cards, billboards, etc. So for us, we go with this option, RGB color. And in here you can select the background color, either white, black, or a color of your choosing. You can select it from here. You can choose whatever color you like depending on your design. Now this is the regular setting we set to work with. And now that everything is set, we click on create. And here we are. This is our design page, and what we get here depends on the setting we set before. Now what about if we want to add an image to work on? Instead of this background, we will use an image. So the way to do that is very easy. All we have to do is to go here, File, Open, and we locate the image. The image location on our laptop or desktop. I have many images, so here, and I will go with this one right here. You click open and here we are. But there is another way of opening an image. You go to the location of your image, wherever it is. For example, this image right here, all you have to do is to drag it like this. Drag it to the Photoshop and it opens. You can choose whatever way you prefer. Either you go here, file, open, locate the image and open it, or you can go to the image and drag it to the Photoshop software. Now let's say that we have changed the image or added anything to it, or we finished our design. For example, this text right here, we type it and we're done. We put it and we have finished our design. And now we want to save the image. All we have to do is to go to save. We save the file like this and in a PSD type so that we can make more changes to it in the future if we wanted to. We choose the PSD type from here. We give the file a name and we click save. And if we want to reopen the project, all we have to do is to locate it and then we open it. Double click and it opens. Now if we want to save the project as an image, we go here and we can choose either JPEG or PNG. But I always recommend to go with PNG as it has better quality. And of course I choose the type and location, then I click save. And here we are. The file is an image. That's it for this lesson. Thanks for watching and I will see you in the next lesson. Hello everyone and welcome to this course. In the former lesson we talked about how to create a new page and how to export files and images. In this lesson we will get to know the interface. As you see, this is the interface. We have the toolbar on the left right here. And here is the layer option menu. And we have these menus right here. The file, the edit, image, layer, type, etc. And from here we can make all these features appear or we can hide them. When you check something it appears, when you uncheck it, it disappears. We can show and hide everything we want. Now we will talk about four main things in the Photoshop. First we will start with the tool list right here on the left. This is it on the left and I will explain each tool in details further in the course. I will be covering each tool in details. Second, we go for the layers. Anything you see in the design page, you can control it from the layers area right here. As you see, you can drag the layer menu wherever you like from here, but I rather put it in here. For me, I rather put it right here. And you can hide it or show it from right here, from the window, as you see. As I said, anything appears in the design page, it will appear right here too. Because every design consists from layers. For example, here we have two layers, one for the image and one for the text. For example, I click here to remove the layer, or I drag it beneath the other one. As you see, the text is gone because we made it underneath the image. And if I hide the image, the text appears. So if I want to show the text, I drag its layer to the top like this, and here it is. So every design consists from layers, and they appear in this menu, which we can control them from. Now if I want to apply a change to only one layer, not the whole design, so what I do is I go to the layer that I want to edit, then right click and I make the changes. Like this. For example, I want to work on this layer, so right click, then I go to blend and options. And I can apply whatever I want on it. Let's say I want to change the color, so I go like this, as you see. So this is how to control and change any layer. Same thing right here, if I want to change the image alone. I can make a stroke or shadow or glow or anything. And from here I can control the opacity like this, as you see. So from here we can show, hide layers, change and edit them in any way we like. Like this, or anything we like. I go like this to open a new folder and put the image inside it, like this. And I can apply any filter I like by doing like this. From this menu I can apply any filter I want. Bottom line is that the layer menu is extremely important because it enables us to control, edit and change the layers. Because as I said before, every design is basically a set of multiple layers. So from here we can edit the layers. The third thing is the navigator window. From here I can zoom in or out at the image, which gives me the ability to work comfortably, and I can see things I can see in the regular size, and also it's very handy when we want to cut an image. We zoom in and we start cutting an image if we want to. You can make it appear by checking its name right here. The fourth thing is the history tool right here. From here you can undo whatever thing you did, whether by choice or by mistake. I'll explain. For example, I went here and I changed the color. So I did change the text color. Then I changed my mind and wanted to use the older color. So all I have to do is to go back here and I click here, and here we go. So whatever you did, you can undo it easily by going from here. For example, let's say I have drawn in here something. So this was just a mistake. I didn't mean to do this. All I have to do is to go to the history menu from here, and I go back like this. And you can make the history tool or menu appear from here as well. So this is the four main things I wanted to show you: the tool list, the layer menu, the navigator, and the history tool or menu. That's it for this lesson. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next lesson. Hello and welcome to our course. Before we begin with the course, I will be explaining the Photoshop tools, these tools in the side right here. I will be explaining each and every tool. I will explain every single tool in the Photoshop, because the goal of this course is to make you a professional designer. And in order to be a professional designer, you need to be familiar with the tools. So I will begin with explaining all these tools here. Now we will begin with this tool, the first one. As you see, Adobe have added a new feature, which is a little preview of the tool as you see here. When you hover over the tool, you get a little preview of it. And I will try to simplify the tools and what they do. The first tool is to move the layers. As you see, I can select this image and move it like this. And it's a very, very important tool. And we can even move parts of the image like this, not just the whole image. So bottom line, this tool is to move layers. Now for the second tool. This tool gives you the ability to cut parts of the image, and by using the first tool we can move them like this. As you see, I select the part that I want, then I copy it, then I use the first tool to move it. I can cut multiple shapes. For example, we can cut a circle like this. I copy it like this, and as you see, it's been cut. As you see, there is different shapes that we can cut on. I can either copy the layer or I can cut it entirely like this. And in order to do that, I cut the layer. And I can replace the shape with whatever I want. As for this tool here, this one, the third one, we use it to cut images and remove the backgrounds. That's the main objective of the tool. For example, I will cut this part right here. I zoom in so that I can start cutting. I keep going like this to cut the object or the shape that I want. I keep going like this. Then I copy it or I cut it. As you see right here. So bottom line, we use this tool to cut part of the image and remove the backgrounds. This tool have three ways. The one you cut like this by connecting dots. With this one you cut like you are drawing. And as you see, when I press delete on the keyboard, it has been deleted. And this way is not precise. It can cause a little bit problems. The third one is the automatic. All I have to do is to hover the mouse and it will select it automatically. As you see, the part is copied. You can work with whatever tool you like, but for me, I prefer this one right here. Now we move on to this tool right here. We use it to cut but in a different way. We use this tool to select part with the same color. As you see, it selects the part, for example the white part right here and the orange part right here. And if I want to delete, I just press delete in the keyboard. Or I can change its color like this. I go to image adjustments, hue saturation, and I can play with the color whatever I like. So mainly this tool is used to select spaces with unified color. Now we go to this tool right here. This tool is used to resize the image and selecting specific parts of the image like this. And you see only this part left. And I can use it to adjust the size like this. As you see, if I want a specific part of the image, I can select it like this. Instead of taking the whole image, I take only the part that I want. Now before we continue with the tools, there is one more thing I need to show you. This tool here is the history of what you did, and you can undo anything you did by mistake or by choice. And as you see, I draw here some random lines, and I can undo that by clicking right here. And it's gone. And I can undo not just the last thing I did, but every single thing I did. In order to make this window appear, you need to go here and check the history feature. And here it is. And this place here is for the layers, and I will be talking about layers in more details later. That will be it for today, and see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Hello and welcome to our course. This is the second lesson of the tools explaining. We stopped in this tool. Now we'll continue by explaining this tool right here. This tool is to select colors. For example, I want to extract this color right here. All I need to do is to click on the color and it will give me its code. Whatever color you want, all you have to do is to click on it.
Now we go to this tool, which is used to delete anything you don't want in the image. For example, I want to delete this phrase here, and all I have to do is to select it like this. Then I drag like this, and it disappears. As you see, there's no trace of the phrase. Same thing for this ball right here. And it's gone. Perfect. And we will be working with this tool further in this course. We go back right here. Now on to the next tool, the brush tool, and you can use it to draw or to make some filters like this light filter. I will add a light filter like this. It looks like there is a light in the corner. And the brushes have multiple uses. And I always recommend to open a new layer when you're using the brushes, so you can undo whatever filter you did. As you see, it's gone, and now here it is. And the brushes are available online. You can download them or buy them from various sites. Another brush example. This is the brush menu. You can control everything about them from here. This is just an example. And as I said, this is the brushes menu. You can control them from here. On to this tool, which is similar to this one because it hides objects. The way it works is that you can copy parts of the image and cover other parts with them like this. As you see, we clone this part and put it right there. The way it works is that you can copy parts of the image and cover other parts with them, like I said before. So it's like this tool right here. As you see, I can delete this ball right like this. And it's gone. You can use it to move objects too, or to clone them. For example, I want to clone the queue. like this. And as I said, you click on the object, then you press Alt from your keyboard. Then you drag it wherever you like. So basically you can use this tool to clone or to hide objects. Now to this tool, which you can delete with it whatever you have done with the brushes. For example, I draw this with a brush. Like this. I put a new layer first, then I draw like this. And I click on this tool to delete what I have drawn with the brush. You won't be using this tool too much because it's not that necessary. I don't even remember the last time I used it. Now we go to this tool right here. This is the eraser tool, which deletes anything from the image. And you can control it from this menu right here. It's with the brush menu. The brush and the eraser menu are in the same place. And as you see, we erase like this. And of course, there's different types of erasers. Like this one, it definitely deletes the thing, but the other one leaves some trace. Now we move to this tool. This tool is for gradient color. I can go here as you're gonna see, we will have some gradient colors. I go here, I choose whatever one I like. For example, this one. I press here and as you see. And I will need to reduce the opacity like this, and as you see, the image becomes more clearer. From here I can control the opacity. So this is what this tool is for. And this tool here, it adds only one color. Not gradient color, just one color. Not like the other tool. This one adds only one color. Now we move to this tool, which can make the image a little blurry. Take a close look. As you see, the image is a little bit blurry. This is the original one, and as you see, you can tell the difference. You can apply this tool to pictures to make the background a little bit blurry and focus on whatever object you want. So this is what this tool is for. This is all for this lesson. I will see you in the next one to explain the rest of the tools. Thanks for watching and goodbye. Hello and welcome to the third lesson of the Tools Explained. In the former two lessons I have explained these tools right here, and now in this lesson I will explain the rest of them. Now we're up to this tool right here. This tool adds light and shadow to the image. I'll show you how to do that. Just take a look here and you will see the difference. How it is, how it was, and how it became. We added the light now, and we will add some shadow. As you see, you can take a look. And you can note the difference. Light and shadow. As you can see the difference right here. As much as I keep going, the shadow will appear much more. As you see, for this is the light, and for the other one is the shadow. One for the light and one for the shadow. So this is what this tool is for. Now we go to this tool, the pen tool. We open a new page just to explain how it works. We usually use this tool right here to draw. I'll show you how's that. These tools I'm changing right here are colors. This one is for the stroke and this one is for the fill. The stroke are for the outside and the fill are for the inside. It's like a frame. I open a new layer so that I can explain like this. That's it. As you see, I can draw like this, and I can control it like this. This tool is usually used to draw, so this is it. Let's go back here to see, like this. I put a dot here and one here, then I drag like this. So that I can make a curve like this. So you can use this tool to draw. Just by clicking and by dragging. And you can control it as much as you want. And to draw a box, you can go like this, as you see. Now to the next tool. We use this tool to type whatever text we want. And we can choose its color like this, and we click to type. And of course we can type whatever text we like. And I go here to adjust the text size, like this. Then I check this box. And I go here to move the text position. So this is the text tool. As for this one, it's like the top one. It's used to move the objects. But we don't use it too much because we use the top one. It's the same tool as this one right here. These two tools are similar. For me, I don't use it at all. I keep to the first tool. Same thing for this one right here. We use it to move whatever object we like. As you can tell from the preview, you can move objects with it. We'll copy the layer like this, and I'll show you how to move like this.
These two tools are not important, but this one in the middle I forgot to talk about. It's a very important tool. We use it to draw shapes, boxes, rectangles, circles, etc. As you see here, we have options. A rectangle, box, circle, etc. I click like this and I draw a box. Let's remove the frame and keep to the inside color. I click, then I drag to draw a box like this. I go here to draw a circle. For this last option here, it does gives me the ability to draw many shapes like this one here. I'll show you. These shapes right here. Let's choose this shape for example. Like this. We change its color. And here we are. And using the top tool we can move it around wherever we like. These shapes here, you won't have them in your Photoshop because you need to download them, and I will be getting to how to do that later in the course. We go here, load shapes to add them. But as I said, I will be getting to these shapes in much more details later in the course. And I can control the shapes I draw like this. For example, like this. And I can control the opacity like this. I can move the objects around like this. One tool left, and it's the zoom tool. We use it to zoom in or zoom out, obviously. But for me, I always use the navigator. I don't use that tool. It's easier to zoom in or out from here. These tools have shortcuts in the keyboard. Every tool has its own letter. For example, it's M for this one. It's C for this one. As you see, every tool has its own shortcut. So we have covered all the tools right here, and these are the tools we use when we design anything. So you need to be familiar with them. One more thing, these tools are here for you, and it's up to you to choose how to, when or where, or to how, when or where to use them. It's up to you how, when or where to use them. For example, if we want to design this ball right here, the way to do that varies from one person to another. Everyone has its own style or has its own way. Each person will use a different tool to get to the same result, which is to draw this ball. I explained the tools to you, so when and how or where to use them, it's totally up to you. Some will choose this tool right here, some will use the pen tool. As I said before, each person will use a different tool to get to the same result. And the way, every person has its own way or method to do things. So I hope you get the message, and thanks for watching. See you in the next lesson. Goodbye. Hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to this lesson of our course. In this lesson, I will explain to you the adjustments menu right here, which is a very important menu in Photoshop. As you see, this is the menu and all of its options. To get to it, we go to Image and Adjustments, and I will be covering all of these options in this lesson. I'm going to explain each and every one of them.
And as you see, the options is divided, so the first set here is for light and shadow. We have brightness, contrast, levels, curves, and exposure. From here we can add light and shadow to the image. The second set we have vibrance, hue saturation, color balance, black and white, photo filter, channel mixer, and color lookup. So the second set is for colors. The third set is basically a pack of filters which you can apply on the image. We have invert, posterize, threshold, radiate map, selective colors. This set right here is to control the quality of the image. We have shadow highlights and HDR toning. The last set is for colors too and some extra stuff. We have distort, match color, replace color, and equalize. So this is the image we will work on, and I will go to each option and I will explain how it works, and I will give example on this image. As I said, these options right here are for adding light and shadow. So the first option right here, we move the cursor right for more light and left for more shadow. Same things for the second one, except that this one focuses on the sides or the edges. Always try to minimize the effect so that the image don't look too bright or too dark. Don't make it look like this. Because beginners tend to overdo things. So always remember, try and make things simple. Take a look. Simple. And in here we have the preview feature. This is for when you make any change, you can see what you are doing. Because if the box was unchecked, you can't see what you did until you click OK. So always make sure to check the preview box. Now if I apply the changes, I click OK to save them. And if I don't want to apply them, I click cancel or I close the window. Now I click OK to apply the filter. I go back from here. As I said, I go back using the history tool, and I already explained it in the former lessons. Now we go to the other options, and as I said, all of these options in the first set are for light and shadow. Take a look at this option right here.
As you see, it adds light and shadow. If we want, we can either apply it by pressing OK or cancel to not apply it. Same thing here. All I have to do is to move this dot right here. And again, the same thing in the last option here. And as I said, always remember to keep things simple. Now we move to the second set. We go to the first option right here. So this option is to edit the image color. As you see in here. Same thing in here. Now to the next option, and we can apply this option to this image. We can't apply it to this image, because as you see when we try to edit it, it looks like this. So this option is not for this kind of images. But take a look on how to apply this option in the right way. In this image right here. Let's say that I want to change the car color. So I go here. And as you see, this option is perfect for color changes like here, but not for the last image. And here is more changes that you can do. As you see, we have hue, saturation, and lightness. Now this option is to change color as well. These options are used to process images that tend to be a little red. Let's say in the sundown or something like that. So you use this option to balance the image colors. And this option here is to make images in black and white, plus some other choices. You click here to get many options to choose from. And you can edit the color degree from here. As usual, when we finish, we click OK. Same thing in here. I click here. And as you see, and I can control the density. These options are really great.
They are very helpful. Learning Photoshop is very easy. All you have to do is to follow designers and learn from them. Then apply what you learned and practice. With time, you will become great at it. Now all you need to do is to get familiar with the tools and options that I will explain. I will explain them to you in this course and you will be ready to start your journey as a designer. Now to this option. These colors here are the main colors of the image. The red, the green, the blue. And we have the constant color. And from here too, we can edit and process the image colors. Now to the next option. So you can choose whatever filter you like and apply it. For example, here it makes the image looks like it's been taken by night. And we will work with this filter further in the course. As you see, there are many choices. All you have to do is to look at the filter, and if you like it, you apply it. These filters saves you time, but with these options here you can create the filter manually. So I recommend the manual work so that you become more familiar with how to do things and become a professional. Now we finish the second set and we move to the next one. This one is for image effects, like this. And in here too. As you see, we can mess around with colors until we get the results we want. Plenty to choose from. And there are some cool effects like this one right here. And as I said, this set is for effects. You can choose the effect you like and apply it. Now on to the next set, which is for image quality. As you see here, I can control the image quality like this. I can add shadows and highlights. And in here too. Now to the second option. This option is great. It elevates the quality in a great way. I keep editing and changing the cursors until I get the results I want. Like this. Now we go like this and you'll see the difference that would happen. Now take a look how it was and how it became. As I said, this is a very important filter. Try it and work with it to get some experience. Now to the last set of options. This one, as you see, makes the image in black and white. This one to change the color of the image too. Like the former ones. It's a good filter too. Take a look at the filters and try them. A piece of advice, don't apply many filters on the same image because it won't look good. Have a previous idea in your mind on how you want the image to look like. Then work with tools that will get you to that result. Set your mind on what you want to do and use the tools to get to what you want to do. And always remember to apply the filter in extreme, always just a slight touch. Don't go extreme on the filters, just a slight touch. As you see, you can tell the difference from here. As I always said, just a slight touch. As you saw, all the options work the same. All you have to do is to move the cursors until you get the result you want. So now we have covered all the options in the adjustment menu. And that's it for this lesson. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next lesson. In the next lesson, we will be explaining the filter course. So see you in the next lesson.
Hello and welcome to this lesson from our course. In this lesson, I will explain the filter menu. This menu right here. I will cover every filter and I will explain it. So we start with this filter here, which is the 3D filter.
And basically this filter makes the simple text in 3D. You can use it to make images in 3D too, but for me I only use it on the text, and I will be getting into how to make a 3D text in more details further in the course. Because mostly you will only use the filter to make 3D texts, not images. Now to the second filter, the blur filter. This filter makes images blurry. So take a look at this image right here. And when I apply the filter, the image becomes blurry like this. And I can control and change the radius like this. I can increase it or decrease it. We mostly use this filter in backgrounds. For example, when you take a picture of somebody, you apply this filter to focus on that person instead of the background. You will apply this filter on the background layer so that the person looks good. This one makes the image blurry too, but in a different way. As you see, it makes parts of the image blurry, not the whole image. I can edit and play with them like this until I get the results I want. And you can rotate the space from here as well. So basically these two filters are almost the same. And to apply the filter, you click OK from here, and here it is. Now to the next filter. The distort filter. So this filter is to compress and edit the image like this. You see how it was and how it became. Now to the next filter, the noise filter. And as you see, you can apply this filter to make the image look like this. You can see the difference. Same thing for all of these ones, these filters. Now to this one. This filter gives you this effect and much more effects. But as you see, it's not a very practical filter, because these effects are useless and designers never use them or rarely use them. As you see, this filter too, it's not very practical. So I recommend to not use it at all. Unless if you want, of course. Now to this filter right here. And this filter, the render filter, is really beautiful filter. Take a look here. For example, I'm gonna make the image like this. And it looks like sunrise. how it was, and how it became. It's a really beautiful effect. And this filter right here is used to sharpen the image. You may not tell the difference from this image, so I will show you on another image. I will apply it on this one so that you can take a closer look. We sharpen it like this, as you see how it was and how it became. It's a great filter too. Now to the next one. As you see, there's what this filter does. It changes the image mode. As you see, normal, darken only, lighten only, etc. Now to the next one, the video filter. This filter here only makes a small change, as you see here, so it's not very helpful. Just a very small difference. And for me, I rarely or I never use it. Now to this filter right here. As you see, you can tell the difference. It's a good filter too. Take a look how it was and how it became after we applied the filter. So we did cover all the lists, and all you have to do is to try all of them to get familiar with each filter and practice a little bit. For me, I don't use all of these filters, I just use a few of them in my work. But I recommend that you try them all so that you know each filter and what it does. It actually depends on what you need, but most of the times you will only use a few of these filters. I said that I covered all the filters, but I didn't talk about these ones in the bottom here. That's because you won't find those filters in your menu, and that's because you need to download them, as these filters do not come with the Photoshop software. You can type the filter name and search for it in Google and download it. Its name is Nik Collection. I'll show you what this filter does. As you see here, it gives you some very beautiful effects to apply on the image. And you can edit the effects from here. So basically this menu here gives you a lot of filters to apply on the image. So try them, and when you apply a filter that you don't like on the image, all you have to do is to cancel what you did by going to the history tool to undo what you did. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next lesson.
Hello and welcome to this lesson from our course. In this lesson, I will explain the layer style menu or the blend and options menu. So basically, this menu here allows us to apply filters but on layers. As I already explained, the layers, as every image consists of multiple layers. So now I will cut this image so that I can apply the filters on it. Which means I will also show you how to cut images. So let's start cutting the image. If you worked with this image, you will have to cut it. But if you worked with your own image, if it's cut, that's okay. If it's not, you will need to cut it also. You need to zoom in to cut the image so that you can spot the details. We choose this tool right here and we start cutting. Always be careful not to leave anything out. And always zoom in the image when you are about to cut it. And here we are. Now we copy this layer. And now this layer is separated from the background. Now I put a white background so that you can see the filter that we are going to apply. Now I go to the layer I want to apply the filters on, right click, and I go to blend and options. As we start with the filters. As you see, this filter adds light and shadow effects on the image. And we can control the filter from here. We can go like this or whatever we want. And the second filter here is the stroke, which is basically a frame that you can put around an image or a text.
as you see here, and you can control it from settings right here. The stroke can either be from outside or from the inside. Now to this filter here, inner shadow. This filter is also to add light and shadow like this. Same thing for this filter. And this filter gives us these effects, and you can control it from these settings right here. You can control it from these settings right here. And this filter makes the image in a single color like this. You can choose whatever color you like and apply it on the image. But this filter makes the image in a gradient color like this. The other one makes the whole image in a single color. This one is a little bit different. And you can control it from these settings right here. This control here gives us these settings here gives us control over the effect. Like this. This filter here gives you the ability to put these patterns over the image. Some of these patterns I have already downloaded from the internet, so you may not find all these items in your software. Now to this filter, outer glow. As it says from its name, this filter makes the image glow. As you see in here. We can adjust it and control it like this from these settings in here. I will apply the filter with a black background so that you can take a good look. As you see in here. We can play with the settings, and here we are. It's very different from what it was like. The image looks like it glows. This is some simple effects that you can add to the images you're working on. And now we go to the next filter and the final one. I put the background to white again so that you can see the filter effect. As you see in here, we have the drop shadow effect. So this effect gives us the shadow behind the image or the character. Not like the former filters with the shadow effect. This one is a little bit different. This filter gives us the shadow behind the image or the layer. You can control its position like this. So now we covered all the lists. Go ahead and take a look at the filters, try them, play with them a little bit so that you get familiar with them, and always remember you need to practice in order to become professional. Always get some hour or two every day of practice. Practice is what makes you good. So go ahead and give these filters a try. That's it for this lesson, and I will see you in the next lesson. Hello everyone, welcome to our course. In this course we will be covering the basics of Photoshop, the tools, their names, their jobs, and everything. And with this knowledge, you will become a professional graphic designer. For this first lesson, we will be talking about fonts and how to add them to the Photoshop software. First of all, I'm going to explain how to write a text in Photoshop. And in order to do that, we have this white background here. And this is the tools menu. This is all the tools that you will be needing and working on in Photoshop are all there. Now we go to the text tool, which is this one. You press on it, and as you see, the cursor looks like this. This is how it was, and when we press on the text tool, look how it becomes. Now we want to type a random text. For example, we type here, then we will be typing, for example, design. Then we save it like this. You type whatever you like, and when you end, you type this in here. Next thing we'll be looking for is how to resize the text. First, we press here at the text cursor symbol, then we press on the text. We only type on this tool just to activate it. If it's already activated, then there is no need to type on it. We select the text, or we can select by pressing Ctrl A. Either we select by the mouse like this, we press and we drag until we cover the whole text, or by pressing Ctrl A. This is the size of the text. We press on this and we choose the size that we want. As you see, the text is grown up. As you see, the limits is 72 right here, but we can overwrite it by typing whatever number we like. As you see, it's 150, but the limit that we get over there is just 72. So if you want anything bigger, we have to type it ourselves. On to the next thing. The next thing is how to change the text color. In order to do that, there's two ways. The first one is to select the text, then we press on this tool right here, then we change any color that we like. If we want the red, for example, we select it like this. For me, I don't rather this way. There's another better way. And that is like, I can do that by going to Window. And as you see, the layers are activated. When the layers are checked, that means they're activated. So in order to change the text color, I press on the layer like this, right click, then I go to blending options. I drag it here so that I can see the text. Then I go to color overlay. Then I'm gonna press over here. As you see, since the color is white, it looks white. And as you see, this is how you change the color. As soon as I press on the color, it shows in the text that we want to change. As you see, the difference between these two ways is as soon as I click on the color, it shows on the text. Not like the other one. And if I want to change the color again, I double click on color overlay like this. Then I press on this color box and we can change the color as we want. Of course, I click OK and OK again to confirm the process. One more thing to show you. What if I want to change the text place? In order to do that, I press on this tool, and this tool helps you or enables you to change whatever you like, changing the position. I'm gonna check this box right here, auto select, then I'm gonna move it. And I'm gonna be explaining this further in the next lessons. And as you see now, when I press on the text and I drag it, it moves. All I have to do is to press on the text and I drag it to move. The next thing we will be talking about is how to change the fonts. In order to do that, I select the text, then I go to this place here. And as you see, there are many fonts right here. And for you won't be having as many fonts as I have in here. It's because these fonts does not come with the Photoshop software. It's downloadable from the internet, and I did already downloaded them, so they show in here. And in order to add a new font, we go to our browser, and as you see, we have many sites to download fonts from. For example, we have this site right here, the font, and this one, 1001 free fonts. We have FontSpace, and we have this site too. There are many sites you can search and look for. There are, of course, free fonts and paid fonts. For this site, they offer free fonts. So for example, let's select a specific font. For example, this one right here. I click on download, then I wait for it until it ends. As you see, it's 4 megabytes. I press on it, then I unzip it. And as you see, here's the font. And this is the icon that we'll be needing. So the way to add it to Photoshop, I copy it. Then I go to run. Then I look for the fonts files, which will be on the Photoshop. And as you see, this is the file that contains all the fonts in Photoshop or in the computer. Then I have to paste it. Now it's done. And now this font will appear in the Photoshop software. Now let's see. Let's keep the font name to remember which one. Now we're gonna be looking for it. All you have to do is to type the font name if you know it. As you see, here it is. and it's already added to the Photoshop. Small information, there are some fonts that does not work on capital letters. They only work on small letters. And the way to download fonts is how I explained earlier. For older versions of Photoshop, you have to close the Photoshop software and reopen it in order the font to be added or to work. But for the more advanced versions, there's no need for that. And as you see, there are many fonts. All you need to do is to select whatever font you like, and here it is. Now I'm going to explain how to add a text to an image or to type on an image. It's actually pretty the same way. For example, we're going to take a specific image, this one right here. We're going to add it to the Photoshop software, of course. There is a way, as you saw that I did, that was the first way, or you can go to File and select Open and look for the image, like this. As you see, this is the image. Now we're going to type. I'm going to change the color to white, and of course I select the typing tool. Then I'm going to type whatever I want. Let's see, new car, for example. Then I'm gonna drag it to whatever place I like. For example, here in the top or in the bottom. Then of course, as I explained before, you can change the color from here by right-clicking, then going to blend in options, color overlay, and clicking on this box right here. And you can change it to whatever color you like. There are many things to do on this place right here. For example, there's the drop shadow effect to drop some shadow behind or beneath the text, and of course you can draw the shadow. You can drag the shadow to whatever place you like. And this is the way to type the text or to add fonts to Photoshop. I hope that you've liked it, and see you in the next lesson. Godspeed. Hello everyone, welcome to our course. This is the second lesson of our course. In the former lesson, we have talked about the fonts, the text, how to add fonts, and how to change the text color, and the things related to it. But in this lesson, we will be talking about brushes, Photoshop brushes. Let me introduce you to the brushes. This is the brushes icon or the brushes tool. I press on it, then as you see, this menu appears here. I press here, then here are the brushes. These are the brushes that we will be talking about today. And there are many types of brushes. And as it's the same as the fonts, these brushes does not come with the Photoshop. You have to download them from the internet. And of course there are paid ones and free ones. Now I'm going to explain to you how to download and to add these fonts to, these brushes to the Photoshop. First, I'm going to be explaining how to work with brushes and why do you need them. For example, I'm going to open a new page. And for now, the settings are not important. We can choose whatever settings we like. We will choose these settings, and here, this is the background or the page. I'm gonna make the background blue so that I can explain the brushes work more easily. And in order to do that, I can either unlock the layer like this and right click and go to blending options. Then I go to color overlay, and of course I choose whatever color I like. And here it is. But there is another way. I'm gonna make things as it was. The second way is that I press on this tool right here, then I go to the second choice, then I choose whatever color I like. Then I press on the background, and here we go. You can choose whatever way you like, the first one or the second one, it's up to you. Now I'm gonna be explaining what we are talking about, the brushes. For example, I'm gonna draw clouds, for example. I already have downloaded the clouds brush. Now I'm gonna look for it, this one right here. I can set the size from here. Then I'm gonna open a new layer from here. Then that is very, very important. So that I open it into her own new layer, because I need to, well, maybe in the future I will be needing to adjust it. But if I made it as the same layer, I won't be able to do that. Now I'm gonna press here, and as you see, we have a cloud. Like this. And so it goes. It looks like the sky. And of course there are many types of brushes. Let's check this one. As you see, there are many shapes. You can choose whatever shape you like. Now we will back to the opening a new layer part. As you see, right click, I go to blending options, and we can change the brush's color. But if we have done the brush on the same layer as the background, we won't be able to do that. For example, we're gonna be deleting this layer, and we're gonna be putting the brushes here. Now, if I want to change its color, now as you see, the whole color will change, not just the brushes. So as I said before, it's important to make the brushes on its own layer, so that you can adjust it or change its color whenever you like. Now we're going to be adding the brushes to the Photoshop software. There are many sites to download brushes from. For example, there are this site right here, Brusheezy. You can type whatever brush name you like, and then you can search for it, and of course choose whatever brush you like. And as you see, these are the premium brushes, and these are the free brushes. If you can afford the premium, it's up to you. If you can't, well, you'll have to go with the free ones. I downloaded from here. Of course, you need to sign up to the site to do that. I won't be doing that because I already have my own account with this site. So as I showed you, all you have to do is to select the brush and then type free download. If you're a new member, it'll tell you to sign in, or to sign up, or if you're already a member, all you have to do is to log in and you're ready to go. Now as for me, I already have downloaded this brush. As you see, here it is. I'm gonna be looking where it is. Now these are the brushes. I'm gonna be looking for it. I'm gonna open or unzip it like this. And as you see, it's already in my laptop. Now to add it to the Photoshop software, I go here, then I go here, As you see, you can adjust the size of this list in whatever manner you like. Then I go to the gear, to the settings. Then I'm gonna go to import brushes. And I'm gonna look for the file or the brush location. And here it is. I think I have downloaded the wrong brush. Excuse me, I'm gonna re-download the brushes again. Just a small mix-up. Bear with me for a moment. As I said before, there are many sites to download brushes from. For example, I'm gonna go to this site, Brush King. Always make sure that these brushes are downloaded legally to avoid copyrights and stuff like that. For example, I'm gonna choose these brushes here. Then I'm gonna download it. As you see, here it is, downloading. As I said before, there are many sites to download brushes from. And as you see, all you have to do is to type free brush Photoshop and you will get hundreds of thousands of results. Then this is the file. We unzip it and here we go. Now I'm gonna go to the Photoshop software. As I said before, I'm gonna press on the brush icon. As you see, we get this menu, then we go to settings or this gear icon right here, and we press on import brushes. And of course we need to look for the brush or its location. I keep looking for the file. Here it is. And this is the brush. I press on it, then I click on load. And it's gonna appear as the bottom one, like this. Here it is. This is the brush that we have downloaded. Of course, it's not sky brushes, but you can look for whatever brush to whatever purpose you like. I mean, every brush is suited for something. As we saw clouds for the sky, there are, as you see here, watercolor for streams or rivers or seas or something like that. Everything has a purpose or has a job to do. I'm gonna open a new page like this. Now we're gonna select the brush like this. Of course, I'm gonna open a new layer, and as you see, it's watercolor, like painting or something. It actually looks like a blood stain, so I'm gonna change its color so that it looks less creepy. Now, as you see, we can reduce the opacity so to make it look like it's far away or coming near or coming far away, whatever you like. For example, one more thing, sorry. If you wanna delete the brushes, all you have to do is to select the layer and press on this tool, and like this you can delete the parts that you want. And of course you can control the brushes as you want. You can select them and drag them as you want, but I recommend to put them where you want them to be from the first time instead of dragging it, as you see the edges and stuff like this will make a problem. Well, that's all for the brushes, and we have talked about them, and I see you on the next lesson. Godspeed.